and still staying with the consequences of the war. Now, we have joining us to look at what this is doing to tourism and perhaps creating a new path of tourism for Africa is Tina Wanya, founder of Nje Tours Limited, joining us for this. There's some tourism packages and routes that seem to be missing out, but it seems there might be rerouting to Africa. Tina, is this what you see too?
Yes, amid the war, people are actually beginning to say they want to explore Africa more. And Africa is not just a country, but a continent. And you have about 55 countries in Africa. So definitely people are encouraged and people are saying, no, I want to visit Kenya, I want to visit Namibia, I want to visit Botswana. And these are places that have low turnouts amid the Middle East crisis. But because of what is happening now, people are being encouraged, people are looking forward to explore. And then they're even surprised to say, wow, are you serious? This is in Africa. Okay, we have a tourist individuals that went to Egypt and he was amazed and said, I never imagined that Egypt would be like this. Someone even said, wow, Rwanda is clean. I've been hearing about it on the news, but I never experienced it. So it's something that is new to them and then they are fascinated about it.
That is clean. I just came back from Rwanda last week, and yes, it is an impressive place to go to. But the truth is, even when Africa has this opportunity, if the continent has not developed its systems, its infrastructure, then all those will also deter the continent from maximizing the opportunities that this presents.
Yes. I noticed that because of this ongoing war in the Middle East, most of the African countries, they've tuned into tourism. They understand the market and then they're saying we have to maximize it. If you say, for instance, we spoke to our partner in Kenya and then they said, okay, there are some infrastructure that are already put in place and there are some new tourist destinations that have actually been opened. Same thing that goes to Namibia as well as South Africa because these are places that more tourists from Nigeria, not even from Nigeria as a whole, all over the world want to experience. Africa is telling that story of safety, of good governance, and then infrastructure. So more people are building their travel itinerary to come to Africa.
But do you see a consciousness or intentionality by governments of the countries on the continent to boost tourism, at least for some of the countries?
Yes, yes, it is. So, for instance, Seychelles, Seychelles has the ETA, which is the electronic travel authorization. It is not the visa. Your ETA is something that you can go online and process within few minutes. You have your ETA in your phone. As well, Kenya for Nigerians, they've scrapped the visa policy. What you just need for Kenya is just for you to just secure your flight itinerary, book your hotel reservation, and you're on your way to Kenya. Same thing with Zambia. Zambia visa policy used to be very strenuous, but now you can go online. It's an e-visa process. You apply for that visa and you are on your way to Zambia. Same goes with Nigeria. Now, our Nigerian system now, the e-visa platform is very simplified. So these are what the Africans leaders have seen, put together and say, okay, we want people to come to Africa. We want them to come and explore, and they are very conscious about it. Senegal, for instance, you can just buy your ticket and go. You know what happened during the World, the AFCON that was just played in Morocco? It was never heard of that you just get your e-visa online, even if you don't have your UK, US, and Schengen visa to go to Morocco. Morocco is that one destination that you have to go to the embassy. But because they are very conscious about tourism, and then they know that tourism is the new oil. So most of the African countries are simplifying their visa process because they want people to come and experience Africa and then to come and see what Africa is all about.
Yeah, but Tina, I can tell you firsthand that this hasn't seeped into the airlines because travel within Africa is still more expensive than traveling outside the continent in most cases.
I would agree with you on that. This is exactly what we were trying to tell the airlines. It will be very saddening for me to say I'm going to Ghana and then I'm spending a return flight ticket for 700,000 naira, 800,000 naira, something that is supposed to, that used to be not more than 150,000 naira. So if the government is putting that conscious effort for people to come and explore Africa as a continent, then I think the airlines officials, the body that is in charge of it, should also find a way to reduce the cost, because this thing is all about not just the exchange, but it has to do with the fueling as well. There are so many taxes that are involved in why the price of flight ticket is expensive. So these are what we've been preaching and then telling the body that is in charge and saying Africa wants to explore Africa more, but the flight tickets should be handled. That is why you see some people saying, I want to go to Rwanda, I want to go to Rwanda, I want to go to Rwanda. It's not because they're saying I just want to go to Rwanda. It's because Rwanda is favorable. You can get a return flight ticket to Rwanda for 800 plus, and this same ticket, if you that's a 4 or 5 hours journey. If you're going to, say for instance, Ivory Coast, that is just 1 hour here, you'll be spending 1 million, 2 million, 3 million plus. So I think every country in Africa needs to emulate the Rwanda sector that's making tourism to be very, very affordable. Same thing that goes with them, Kenya and Ethiopia as well.
Yeah, and I hope and I think that, I mean, when we also have alternatives, for instance, if we can develop our road trip, road trips are really interesting on their own, or rails, these will also add more flavor to it and also serve as competition to the airlines, and that might force them to do something faster.
Yeah, it's a road network, and I appreciate the Nigerian government because initially, if you're going to Ghana, if you're flying through the main semi border, the road from my tool there is not favorable. But now you can see that the road network is very perfect. Like I say, I encourage people, if you want to enjoy tourism, if you want to enjoy a distance, if you want to enjoy the trip from Lagos to Ghana, you should go on the road because you're passing Benin Republic, you're passing Togo, you get to their flower border, you get to see people, you get to experience nature, you get to experience culture, and then you can also use that same means and then to go to Ivory Coast. So road network is one thing that the African governments should emulate. Because if, for instance, Nigeria has done their part, we believe Togo, Benin, Ghana should also do same. So it's not just one person thing, but it's a collective effort. So road trip, yes, they are very interesting.
All right, we look forward to that. Thank you so much for your time on the program, Tina.
Thank you.